everybody? It's Rashawn from BoostDistrict. You guys saw in the last video that Beto came here, picked up Cheddar Bob, the white Silverado, and dropped gaps to us.
Okay, so what's the plan for this one?
All right, so this is we are releasing a new supercharger. We've been selling the LSA supercharger kits for the last 11 years already.
Okay.
And we wanted to put something together that resembles our Gen 1 2650, which is basically a blow-down design blower that looks like a blower.
Okay.
You know, the LSA looks cool,
Yeah,
but with the lid on top. But people want to have the classic blower look. So we're gonna bring back the Gen 1 style, and we teamed up with a supercharger company from Harrop, from Australia, named Harrop Engineering. And then for gaps, we're gonna put these guys. This looks more of a blower.
Yeah, this it's more
traditional looking.
It looks more beefy too. So this is the supercharger that we're thinking for gaps.
This is what we're doing.
Oh, this is what we're doing.
We're really grateful for the ONDGAS support and love from everybody in the channel, and also them, Beto and his whole team, trusting us, coming all the way from Houston to Dallas to drop off his truck and make it beautiful. So the game plan on this one is pretty simple. You guys have seen in the last video. We're gonna be doing a full tune-up on the truck since it's been sitting. It's his baby. Look at the damn thing. It's so clean. It's cleanest Silverado cat eye I've ever seen in my life, and he wants to keep it that way, but with a little twist. We're putting a supercharger in this thing. It's going to be a 2300 and 2650 supercharger. It's going to be available on the website. Brand new here in partnership with Harrop, Australia and USA. We're building the full kit available on the site. As you see when this video is live, you can order this exact same supercharger for your application. So in this video, we're going to be doing a full tune-up on it. We're going to baseline it on the dyno so we can see how much power it made before, and then we're going to tear it down. And we're gonna see how the supercharger looks in this engine bay. Let's get into this live video, have some fun with it, and I'm really grateful for the support for everybody. Every single one of you guys supporting us, grateful. By the way, I brought red out today because gaps is a beautiful red color. Gotta get my BoostDistrict red hoodie too, available on the website. So make sure you order yours, and lots of merch in there too going live now. So let's jump into this thing, have some fun with it, put some supercharger in this thing, and let's boost the world. Let's take a look at this engine bay real quick, Sam. Look at how nice this is, stock. It almost looks like the way it came from 2005. Just still in the nice stock intake, stock covers. Everything is just clean. It has a couple leaks in it. It needs valve cover gaskets, valley cover gaskets. Might need a front timing cover gasket. I'm not sure yet. But we did a quick tune-up on it before we dynoed it, just because it's been sitting. We want to make sure it's safe, reliable, and tuned up before we throw power, or before we try to do a lot of dyno pulse on it. Just to be doing due diligence, and it kind of needs it. So when we changed the plugs on it, this is how it looks now. It's not bad, it's not horrible whatsoever, but you know, it's not the best either. Definitely could have used it, so we're glad we did it anyway. So we took out the wires that it's kind of old too, so they're brittle. You don't want to risk having problem with spark anything anyway. So change the spark plugs, change the wires. We're putting fresh fuel in it because apparently it has a couple-year-old fuel in it. We're gonna add some gas in the tank, and she started for the dyno. But by the way, anything that gets worked on at BoostDistrict always gets the plastic wrapping, so you might not see it all the time in the video because it's kind of inside or outside of it, but we usually wrap all the cars. This one gets the same thing, so when you're leaning on it or anything like that, you're not scratching it. So make sure we always are pretty proactive on wrapping cars up. Just always doesn't get to show it. So let's head to the dyno. That made a measly 209 horsepower and 260 torque. It's pretty much where it's going to be at. 5.3s usually make anywhere between, I've seen it as low as 190 and I've seen it as high as 230 stock. So I guess this is just right in the middle there. So 209, 263. I'm going to make one more pull just to verify information, and we have a good baseline. So it's a bone stock 5.3, 0 mods, 0 tune. The only thing we did is do up the limiter on up the governor basically. So we increased the speed limiter on it so we can do a dyno pull, but besides that it's bone stock, touch nothing, and it's a bone stock engine bay as you guys see. At least it's healthy, so that's good. We'll make one more pull to verify everything, and we'll have a good baseline right here. that made 225, 265. That we wrapped it up a little higher this time around, and it went all the way to almost 5,000 RPMs. 5.3 engines usually baseline anywhere between 210 to 230. We're almost on the higher side of that, so the 225 mark. I'm happy with these numbers. This is a bone stock truck with a stock intake manifold, stock cold air intake, stock throttle body, has headers, and the only thing that we did in the tune is increase the speed, the speed limiter, so we can get in the dyno and make some power. Now that we have this thing dynoed and baseline, and we kind of have figured out if we're gonna run the middle section or the passenger section inlet for this truck, let's get to the teardown process. Let's put this supercharger on the engine and let's have some fun. Watch the teardown process right here. And if you have a truck like this or an LS swap like a C10 or square body, anything like that, this is gonna be pretty much similar because this engine is a super popular LS swap with the belt drive also. So you're gonna be watching the exact same process that we're gonna be doing, and just enjoy and sit with us. And if you have any questions, always drop down below to the comment section or also send us an email through our site. Let's get these superchargers in this truck. All right, so in this install process, we're gonna get started right here and go tearing out this engine bay. As you guys can see, this engine bay is untouched. Complete stock wiring harness. All the plugs and pins has been preserved, which is really awesome and hard to find nowadays. The stock intake manifold is getting removed. Lots of cleanup needs to be done here because this is a 20-year-old truck that has never been taken apart. Gotta make sure everything is taken care of. All the wiring is taken care of because they're brittle. We're gonna have to basically take a look at this loom, make sure nothing is shorted. And while the engine bay is getting prepared, we're also going to start preparing the supercharger on the table here. We're going to go ahead and install the injectors in place since it's a lot easier to do it while it's in the table. And we're going to go run the fuel lines, as you guys see right here, and set up the sensors. There's only two sensors that we need from the supercharger. It's just the map sensor, which reads the boost pressure, and also the intake air temperature sensor, which used to be in the mass airflow sensor that we took the wire off and added to the intake air temperature built into the supercharger. When you guys receive your supercharger, you're already gonna have the sensors already in place, so you guys don't have to guess anything. It's straightforward install. As always, whenever you're fastening anything down, especially on a supercharger application, use Loctite. You don't want any of these bolts to be backing out, just for security and peace of mind. Back here in the engine bay, we already go ahead and installed our spacers in place and putting down the supercharger. Lots of work to be done on this end just to make sure everything fits nicely, and especially to Beto standard. Very nice setup here, and we need to make sure that we preserve the look of this truck to make sure it looks awesome and also clean to match the outside of the truck. As with anything, try to use hand tools on fastening down the intake manifold bolts. They are pretty skinny and they can snap out if not done correctly. As you guys see right here, we have the heat exchanger pretty much wrapped up. The only thing we need to do is rerun all the lines from top to bottom and run the lines. The only thing we have to do is run the heat exchanger lines from top to bottom, from the supercharger to the cooler to the pump, back to the reservoir, back to the supercharger. So it's just a full loop system and enclosed to keep sure everything is clean and tied out of the way and sorted. Let's get this install on the way, done, and show you guys the final results. Alright guys, so you guys have seen the progress on this whole truck build. This thing has turned out a lot better than I expected, and it's well deserved. L Gaps is a badass truck, and this needs to get all the fun stuff. Let me show you guys on what we've done here, and show you guys the kind of almost finished product. Look at how nice this is. Blowers in place. We have our belt drive bracket in place. We actually just measured for the belt. That's why we have string here. The main goal here is for us to build this truck right here. So when we get to put this on the website, it's ready to go. And I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of what we've done also, so you guys don't have to have the same game, not really, R&D that we have to do here. So the main goal is to have everything plug and play and easy, so when you get everything in the boxes, ready to throw down, and you can see this video so you guys can refer to it also. So the installation process is very easy as a breeze on a weekend, and only thing you have to do is plop everything in, get tuning, and get it on board. We actually are going to be starting to offer tuning in-house here as far as for remote tuning. If you guys have a build that you guys want to do with our parts in it, you can contact us. We're going to have a form on the website. show us your whole combo, and if the parts are proper, we can take your job as for remote tuning. So we'll put that tab on the website. We'll hover over here so you guys can see it. But as far as this video goes, let me show you guys what parts we've had. So blower's already on, belt is already measured. As far as the wiring harness go, everything is plug and play. We actually have gone to an extent to getting these harnesses. So this is your Delphi injector harness for your stock truck. And we use EV6 newer style injectors on this end. So you get a plug and play harness adapter, so you don't have to be cutting anything. So that's ready to go in. And also same thing for the map sensor. That's to read the pressure on the truck. This is your stock GM 5.3 harness, plugs right in. And this goes right in, the 3-bar sensor that goes right here. So you're gonna be getting the map sensor on a box. It just goes right into place. This plugs right in and it clips in, and then this goes to your truck harness. No cutting, no guessing, no deep pinning, no nonsense. It's just plug and play, make it easy as far as installation goes. On top of that, we actually also have a product that we've been selling a lot, but we don't really advertise it. So we need to make a lot more to fire up our CNC machine with Jesse and show it to you guys, because LSA, 2650, Whipple, this 2300, and all the other superchargers that we do, you guys could use an HD tensioner. So this is an HD tensioner bracket that we sell. You can see it's BoostDistrict. And this basically puts a nice Cummins style heavy tensioner in place like this. So we're gonna show you guys how it looks installed right here. And also this basically shows how much rigidity your belt can have. So in a blower application, you have a blower that's pulling belt out to stretch it, and this job is basically to try to give it as much tension so your belt doesn't flop off, fly out, or anything like that. So this is a really good setup that we have here on this combination, and works really well. So let's watch more into the build and finish everything out and show you guys how we look. And on top of that, we actually also started doing a mock-up of an intake. This is not gonna be the final intake. We just kind of wanted to see what kind of shape we're going with. We're also gonna be selling an intake that is full version finished when it's done. But basically what we're trying to do is we're gonna try to go up right here to clear this upper radiator hose and go into the stock box, or we're gonna make a box. So that's kind of the shape we're gonna go for. We just had several pieces here that we could use for mocking it up. We're gonna get our fabrication to make us a nice intake that we can also include with the kit, or you can buy it separately. But everything else, plug and play, very happy with it. One last thing, we went with the straight inlet version, and this is gonna be the final version we're gonna be selling for the truck kits, just because this version creates basically an S to the airbox. So this version will work for some LS swap applications. Like we actually sold a couple for a Jeep sandrail build. So this is that build uses the same truck belt drive kit, but they wanted to have this kind of inlet because it was going to hit the intake pipe where they didn't have anywhere to go on their chassis. So very useful. It definitely has room in the market, but for the trucks, if you have a truck like this, that just goes right into place, and that's the proper intake. That's the proper inlet, so we can make a nice intake. So that's done. We have Cheddar Bob right here. This truck actually, we were able to get a damn good deal with Tommy at Boostline for an engine, and I talked to Beto about it, and I really wanted this thing to have a BoostDistrict spec built engine. So we were able to talk to Beto, take the truck back, and put a proper built motor in it that I know will last for whatever he does to it. So this thing was on an engine dyno, made a lot of power. I'm gonna show it right here. And on top of that, we're gonna be adding a little bit more protection to it, so when it does a donut or it lives on the rev limiter, it's not gonna melt. Obviously, we know Beto is gonna be putting everything on its limits and maybe well over that. So we wanna make sure it's protected. We built that whole truck, but we didn't build the motor, we didn't build the trans. So now we built the motor, hopefully the trans is good. And the whole setup on this is damn badass. So still looking really clean. This thing has our LSA intake on it in place, the 4-inch intake, plug and play with our airbox in it. So it looks right there. And then also has the 3-row belt drive kit that we're also gonna be adding on the site. So if you want to have a dedicated belt drive kit, so let me show you this, Sam. Can you hover over here? So the main purpose of doing this build is because we wanted to show this belt drive. So this is your serpentine drive that controls your power steering, your alternator, your power steering, and your water pump down below. And then the supercharger is on a separate drive. So whenever you're doing a donut and dribbling on the rev limiter, banging into it, the belt will also stretch. And this basically holds the belt really tight with the HE tensioner it has, and will be very healthy. So it's not gonna, if a belt ever pops off, which it should not, the water pump and power steering will not go with it. So we need to make sure there's a proper burnout truck and it's gonna be ready to go. We're doing a little bit more maintenance in it too. But back into this build, let's see how much power this thing makes. All right, so the next part of this build is making sure that the truck has enough fuel. We took the bed off so we can put it on the lift. This thing is insanely low, that is unworkable. So we didn't want to ruin, or we didn't want to risk the chance of damaging the tailgate or also the bed. So we just decided to take it off, put it in a safe location so we can put it on a lift, put it on casters, and then get it up. So next point, fuel tank. So obviously if you guys have just a regular height fuel or regular height truck, or even a little lower, you can access this on the ground with just jack stands. But for here, to make it easy for your guys' sake, we're gonna show it to you guys. So there's a stock fuel tank on here, and we're gonna be doing a 400-liter fuel pump in the tank just to keep it easy. We actually sell a few of these kits on our website. So there's the stock fuel sending unit on the truck with a fuel pump inside, and we actually also sell a this is for the C8, but the very similar combo. So this is a dual or triple pumper for the trucks depending on your power goals, and then we also have a 400-liter tank or pump inside this module that we also sell on our site. So we have that in this truck. Our full kits also come with the full wiring. This pretty much what you're gonna get. So if you order a pump, right, if it's a single pump, you're gonna get basically a relay kit to have the pump ready with a wiring harness kit that just plugs and play. Or if you have a dual pump kit like this guy right here, 2 pumps, one runs always and one runs when it hits boost, you're gonna get something like this, which is called a Hobbs switch. So there's a pressure switch that you hook up to your supercharger. Once this sees boost, it activates and it turns the second pump on to the relay fuse right here, and it kicks the second pump on. So dual or triple pumper pump, you're gonna see that combo. We have all of these on the site. The wiring harness kit for a single pump, the wiring harness, or the full dual pump or triple pump kit with the wiring harness specifically for that combo. We've been working with Chris a lot, Chris 1313, so we appreciate him always helping us on all our builds. And we have exclusivity on some parts that we're building together. But for the pump, or for the GTO, for the trucks, the Trailblazer SS, the SUVs and whatnot, we have the engine bay pretty much wrapped up on the side of things. So we're just connect the fuel system right here. So everything is just gonna be ran to the back. We also wanted to make sure that the engine bay looks clean as possible. So all the regulator, all the wiring kit, the race car way to do it is to put it in the engine bay. The clean way to do it is to do it like we did. So, you know, this truck is all for show. He doesn't really care about the power on this, but he's still gonna get it. Just, we don't wanna ruin the way the truck looks. Like the simple things like the interior. Look at how clean this thing is. It looks stock. We wanna mimic that on the whole build of the truck. We wanna make sure that it's really clean, really beautiful, and to keep it as tidy as possible. So the regulator is right here under the bed. Nothing is gonna be visible. It's all, what do you call those? Devil in sheep's clothing. So is that the right way to say it? I don't know.
Wolf in sheep's clothing.
There you go, wolf in sheep's clothing. So anyways, thank you, Sam, for correcting me. It's gorgeous. It's all gonna be hidden. It's all gonna be wire wrapped. It's all gonna be looking OEM underneath here. But on the front, when you look at it, it's supercharged, making a lot of power. And inside, it looks beautiful and stock, and it's a time capsule. It really is. So let's get back into the build, show these things getting worked on, and hopefully we can make some power soon. Moment of truth. We had a truck on the dyno. We finished the build. We just did a fuel pump on this and a supercharger. Stock everything else. So I have pretty good hopes that it will at least pick up 120 horsepower. Let's see how much it does. Let's do a quick rundown of the engine bay so you guys can see it real quick. So this is a bone stock 5.3 stock cam, and it's a really nice setup. I like how we built this everything here and looks really clean. It echoes pretty good in this engine bay. stock cam, stock exhaust, 93 octane, stock throttle body, literally blower only, and a fuel pump. So let's see how much this thing makes. We are going to be making a colder intake pipe that goes in the stock box, and also if you guys, a lot of you guys don't have a stock box anymore, so we're going to be making a separate aftermarket box too with a nice filter and everything. So as of right now, we're going to dyno it like this. So far, nice build, clean build. It was really nice to work on such a nice pristine gem of a truck. The intake throttle, the intake manifold has never been off this engine, so really cool to see time capsules. So let's see how much power this thing makes. Pause this video, place your guesses below. If you guess the right one, I'm gonna send you guys a t-shirt. So place your guesses below and let's see what they do. Finally, first pulse with the car, the truck. First pass out, it's making 7 pounds of boost on our biggest pulley, and it's making 308 wheel and 345 torque. It's already up 60 horsepower from when we first started on it, so good gains to start with. I think we're going to be doing a couple more pulls, keep everything happy, and we're going to keep rolling into it. So so far so good. 7 pounds of boost, bone stock 5.3 with just an exhaust. I like what I'm seeing. $338. I'm still not wanting to ramp it up all the way. Small steps, baby steps, but good steps. Solid. Came in with 225, already picked up 108 horsepower. Love it. This car baseline at 225 horsepower and 268 torque. On the last pull, we made 333 horsepower and 338 torque. I'm gonna put you in the spot. What is your final guess? It's our last pull for the day. Sam?
I originally said 365.
365, okay. You?
375.
375. Gavin? Okay, I was at 350. We were at 333. We cooled it down. We have a fan on it. I think we can... 357 is my final guess. Let's see what we can do.
He's gonna rig it.
No, no, no.
Does that mean I win?
You won, Sam. We are done. That is a full pull, cool down, 380 wheel, 379, 387. Don't let the numbers fool you guys. Give me a second, let me just shut this off. Don't let the numbers fool you guys. Like, a lot of you guys think this is low horsepower, but you gotta look at where it started. A stock 5.3, bone stock, made 225 wheel horsepower. We just added 150 horsepower. That's what you got to look at. So the number on the end might not be as strong, but you got to realize stock cam, stock truck, stock throttle body, just the biggest pulley we can put on it. So 7 pounds of boost and nothing crazy to it. If you have a cam, if you have... That is true. It's also in second gear, as Christian just said. So it's in second gear. See, we made this first pull in third gear, but since we don't want to break the drive shaft on this truck, we are in second gear making our final pull. So again, it's on 93 octane, stock cam, literally blower only. It's making 150 horsepower more. I'm happy with that. We're gonna end this in this video. This supercharger is now available and live in the website. If you go into the GM truck kit, we're gonna overlay it right here. If you go in the GM truck kit and look at our superchargers, the BD2300 that we have available, same exact setup. And you can also have the colder intake that we'll be producing part of that kit too. So get to the website, order your kit, and we'll have smaller pulleys available. So if you're cammed, you can take advantage of that too. But stock pulley on this combo, 150 horsepower gains. Happy with it. We'll see you guys in the next one. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe on our channel. And also, obviously, if you don't follow ONDGAS, please do, because they build a lot of badass stuff with us, and we have a lot more coming in. So see you guys next time.